Hi, I'm Paul Heaps. I'm from Real Property Management, Southwest Michigan. We are located in St. Joseph and serve all of Berrien County in Southwest Michigan. Today we're going to talk about what you need to know before you decide to rent out your home. Renting your home, if it's a home that you've lived in especially, can be kind of a big decision. And there's a few things that you should think about before you do that. Number one, remember that landlording is a business. Oftentimes, people they have a house that they need to rent, and they'll just go ahead and put up a for rent sign, try to find a tenant, and don't really have the systems in place to manage that tenant and to manage that property well. So remember that landlording is a business, and it's important to treat it that way. Also, make sure that you protect yourself, and what I mean by that is by having a solid lease where you're well protected. You need to document what the property was like before the tenant takes possession, document it again after the tenant leaves the property, so that you are able to show if there was any damage in that type of thing. So the other thing I think you need to do is kind of do a self-assessment and decide, is renting something that is for me? You have to keep in mind that anytime you rent out a property, typically when you have a tenant in the property, no tenant is typically going to take as good a care of the property as you do. So there sometimes can be a little more wear and tear on the property. Typically, you'll have to repaint during between tenants and that type of thing. So you kind of have to ask yourself, is that something that you have a tolerance for, that even with the best of tenants, they may not take as good a care of the property as what you would have. So also need to think a little bit about your time frame. If this is a property that you lived in previously, maybe it's a property that you lived in, you had it for sale, didn't sell, you're going to try to buy some time by renting it for a while. Decide how long that length of time is. If it's a year, less, that type of thing, that may not be long enough to make it worthwhile. Typically, you want to have a couple of years or more that you're going to be renting it out. Keep in mind, if you do think about hiring a property manager, hiring a good property manager is kind of an insurance policy. And what I mean by that is property managers have done this before. The good ones know what they're doing. And it reduces your risk because their knowledge is what can keep you out of trouble. So if you have any questions or would like to talk with me further, please give me a call. My number is 269-983-7722. And I look forward to talking with you.